I'm Alyssa, your free range psychic, and tonight I want to do a reading on Ivanka Trump. I've explained in the other videos that I ask my guides for guidance before I do these readings, and they tell me what they want me to read on. Or I might ask them, can I read on this person? They might say yes or no, that it may or may not be a good time. So they actually chose Ivanka, as far as I know. Now, when I do this kind of thing, I speak directly with my spirit guides. I tell you what I hear or I think I hear. Um, and so this was an interesting reading. Um, and as the reading goes on, I'm going to ask my guides for more information. But basically, I'm going to show you the spread. Um, so, let's see, can you see that? So this is just a simple Celtic cross. And so the center card, the card that's representing Ivanka, is the devil. Surprise, surprise. Um, and so they told me that this card, oh, the other thing is my spirit guides choose these cards in advance. I don't shuffle the deck and draw them out. They actually show me or tell me the cards, and I then fish them out and read them. So they specifically pick these cards. And they picked the devil for representing Ivanka, the querent, or not the querent, the subject. So this card, I know the devil is pretty, well, I guess on one hand it's self-explanatory, but there are a lot of hidden meanings in this card. It could mean a lot of different things. But what they specifically wanted me to point out was Ivanka is fully aware and fully culpable of what she and her father and her family and their uh, cohorts or cronies are up to, even as far as what's going on with the children in the cages, the immigrant families and their children and the separation. She is all in, 100%. So I think people like to think of her as a little, not naive, but maybe, she's, because she's her father's daughter, she just has to go along with the things that he does or that people in his administration want to do. These things might abhor her, but she doesn't, she can't criticize, or, she doesn't dare because of her father is a tyrant. But no, they're telling me this is her full complicity in what's going on in everything. So yes, that's how they wanted to represent Ivanka. So in the past, the Ten of Swords came up for her, and they said that this represents all all the investigations into her money and her businesses, and that is really, a very comprehensive and probably, is probably going to initiate the end game for her financial present anyway. I don't know what happens. I can ask in another reading what happens in the future with her, but regarding what financial affairs she's involved in now, what her businesses are, what her practices are, where her money is or where her money is hidden. There are investigations into all of that by the FBI and the various justice departments around the country. So I would imagine that would be Ivanka underneath those swords, but at least Ivanka's finances. So the top card is the Lovers. So this card, my guides say it represents Trump and Ivanka. And I know everybody's going, ooh, but a lot of us see there's somewhat of an incestuous nature between them, they're not necessarily talking, and I didn't ask actually about anything sexual. What they're talking about is who Ivanka is to Trump and who Trump is to Ivanka. So they said, and I want to also put in or insert that Trump is a narcissist, a malignant narcissist, and malignant narcissists have a certain um, profile. There's certain characteristics. They all have them. And one of them is that the way that they view their children is that their children are not separate individuals. There are no boundaries. The children are not even really people or separate people. They are like as if they were their hand or their fingers or their legs or an extremity. They are purely an extension of them, and they really should exist in their mind to serve that function. So what my guides showed me was that Ivanka represents Trump's ideal self, not just his ideal woman, but his ideal self. And she is the golden child. And something I'm gonna put this card down for a second and ask my guide how Ivanka sees Trump, because I don't think I've done that yet. So, and the way I communicate with my guides is I use my pendulum, but I don't use it in a conventional way. I start to use it and it opens up a channel. I'm not really even looking as to, whether it's going around or however my the way that I get my yeses or nos, although I could do that. It just starts becoming a conversation. I've been doing this for so long, and it becomes this organic kind of uh, uh, I want to say flowing thing or between us. So you'll see. Okay. So how does Ivanka see Trump? She sees herself as, oh, that's so sad, as worthless. He defines her. And I think this is because even though we see her as, Barbie, beautiful, some people think she's beautiful, some people think she's looks, like a Barbie, but, she has this perfect persona. But she does not experience herself that way, because I believe that growing up from a young child, her father used love as a tool, as a weapon, to be offered and withdrawn regarding conditions that he set. And he always had a high bar. No, there was a lot of the time it was very random, which is a tool that narcissists do use to control not just their um, children, but their spouses and others around them. And so that it creates this kind of dynamic where um, the, the child only gets conditional love and really doesn't know what love is, but they're hungry for it, and they uh, may try to, figure out what's going to please their parent and fulfill that, but and feel very good if they think they have done it and they get a positive response, but that may change, and it creates this almost addiction or need for the parents' approval, and so that becomes the main focus of their life. But really inside they're feeling unlovable, unworthy, and only the sun only. And this is interesting. There's a star, but I'm really seeing it as the sun's only really going to shine on her when her lover reflects it to her, and only then. So it's a very damaging relationship, and so she'll do anything for him. She's trying to please him all the time, but inside she really has no sense of self-worth or even identity that's not related to him. and how he reflects her back to herself. And he knows this. He uses this. He did this. He developed this relationship purposely, with intent, and he did that with all his children, um, in one way or the other. So, so underneath is the Eight of Swords. And so my guides told me that this represents Ivanka being trapped by her own decisions. She created this um, prison, this situation full of danger, full of um, uh, uh, consequences that may be very uh, bad and life altering, like going to jail or losing all her money, or whatever might come of it in terms of the judgment that the courts lay down on her and her family, even separation from her children, from her spouse. She chose this, she did this, she's culpable. And even though this is she is perceiving it, I'm gonna check with them as I say this, as a terrible situation, she created this for herself. It's her responsibility. Okay. So the future, this is the near future card, is a Page of Wands. So my guides told me that this is Ivanka trying to make a new start, trying to figure out a new way to turn this around, even to the extent of possibly informing on her father regarding where their money is hidden, because she knows if I tell them where the money is hidden, maybe they'll let me off. And that is really the goal. And she thinks she can swing it. She thinks that but maybe if she, offers them up enough information, then she can get off and she can walk free. So that's interesting. I'm going to ask them too, because a thought came up. Well, if she's that dependent on her father, wouldn't she, bite the bullet for her father? But I don't think so, because I think they're telling me mixed loyalties with her own children and her own family. There's so much fear of confinement, of losing this gilded life, this life of luxury, this life of affluence and wealth and celebrity. That is, I think, to her even more, if not more important than her father, but in terms of her own sense of survival, I would say yes. So she's thinking she can turn this around. I'm going to ask them, can she turn this around? No. My guides, as far as I'm hearing them, are saying no, she cannot turn this around. This is not, it's just so much, she's broken so much of the law, and it's not, if it's not one court, it's another court. If it's too much, and she's going to have to pay consequences. So I'm going to ask them if there's anything more they want to tell me about this reading. Actually, I was trying to get this so you could see this, even though it's upside down. No, this is what they wanted to tell you. I do want to do another reading on her relationship with Jared, because oh my goodness, I have so many questions about that one. And then of course a reading about Jared too. Um, so that's a huh. You want to feel sorry for Ivanka, but then when you know that Ivanka is okay with children in cages and all the abuse that these poor children have gone through, the migrant children, and God knows what else that Trump is doing to our environment and around the world. But it's hard to have sympathy for her, at least for me. I try to be compassionate. So okay. So the other thing I wanted to do was to ask my guides. Here we go. to ask my guides for a card for us, an oracle card, because I know we're all still going through this time of turmoil with all this crazy stuff happening and the Mueller report up. It's still up in the air and Trump being Trump. So what's going to help us? What's going to help us get through? And I asked them which card. And by the way, this is a messenger oracle. Um, and these tarot cards are the Gilded Tarot, which I think they're beautiful. I have several decks, but I really like using this one for these readings. I might pull out another deck another time. But this is the card that they wanted to give us. And this card says, "Have courage." And I'm going to read what the Messenger Guidebook says. This is by Ravynne Phelan, Phelan. Have courage. There are times when you feel small, afraid, and alone in the world, but you are not alone. You are watched over and cherished by Gaia and the Great Spirit. Know that you have within you the strength to overcome all obstacles placed in your path, no matter how daunting or large they may seem. Have courage. Now is the time to trust in yourself and have confidence that you will overcome all. I think we all needed to hear that. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I plan to do many more. Please, if you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comment section. And also, I do have a favor to ask. I'm new to this this YouTube venue, and I'd really like to know if anybody has a suggestion regarding tagging and how I should tag my videos so that they can get a wider distribution. I think I'm lacking imagination or something. I don't know, because I have yet to see, how many people will watch, etc. over time, but I'd like to know, does anybody have some good suggestions regarding that, or have some expertise in that even? So I do personal readings, and basically I can do tarot readings. Mainly my readings are just asking my spirit guides, like you saw me do today, and asking them what they want to talk about with you. They are usually in conversation with your spirit guides before we even start. And I can read past lives, present, and future. And I would love to do a reading for you if you would want one. I put my contact information below on the link. And I have a Facebook page, Sacred Fire Psychic Readings, and you can like me on that page and also message me through that page. And all my information is there. So I think, I'm not sure if it was raining the last time I did this or the time before, but it's raining again. So have a great rest of your week, and I will see you soon. I hope you enjoyed this.